let's go chase down some. Chase down some. Ah.
New picture.
Huh?
Just new picture outside.
I know. So we can go over here and share screen. So now they're looking at it. See that?
What?
That's what they're looking at right now.
Uh-huh. Oh, good.
Let me show you. Okay, we just went live. Took this long. What am I trying to do? Does your human brain leave you? Mine does.
Sometimes. Then that's a good thing. Then spirit's stepping in.
Yeah. You better believe it. Ah, that's weird. Why isn't it? It should be showing your picture right now. Oh, there it is.
Ah.
Okay. Let's get back to business. Boom. We need to go over here. Boom. Okay. Here, let me turn the music off. All right. All right, we got 24 people in the house. We got a special guest today, Claudia Selk, who's a very special lady. And thank you, Gina, for the email. I'm gonna get with you on that. We'll get you scheduled. Yeah, Claudia is a really special part of all the communities, but I mean, for Soulogy, she's a very special part of Soulogy. Because last year when we had Soulogy Fest in Sedona, I didn't know her. I didn't know a lot of the ladies, though. I didn't know like 50 of them, 50 of the 100, I bet you, And I might have known their name or encountered them, but but she really personifies, what I would say is really the core of Soulogy, which is primarily women who've been doing the work for many, many years, who didn't really want any notoriety, very anonymous, but very supportive, energetically and otherwise. And it was really an eye-opener and a confirmation at that Soulogy Fest in Sedona in 2021, because that's what we'd always been aiming for, was to reach that particular demographic that makes up such a vast majority of these communities. So you're like the epitome of it, and you guys just show up and you support and you I don't know how else to put it. You just love everyone that knows Claudia. Just like every time somebody I mention Claudia, they're like, oh, Claudia's like just pure love. So it's great to have you here, and I'm glad that you decided to come into the studio and do a show, because I know you didn't want to at first.
Well, I knew I was going to come to Sedona because I wanted to meet up with Victoria Lindenquist to have a medical medium, and then I could come and say hi to friends and all that. And I came in the other day and I saw Serena, and she and I were talking about, if we did do an interview, what would we say? We want to say something new and all that. And so we did it. And then that evening, I just texted you back and said, yeah, I want to do it. I know that we're all, like flavors of the same ice cream. We just have different individualities about us, and I want to share mine.
Yes.
That's all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Let's do a fun thing. Let's do a little bit of Soulogy from last year, and then I want to go into tell a little background of me, or maybe I could start with the background.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, so it's really simple because I'm simple, and it's in the past, so it doesn't really have too much relevance. Just a little bit of story. So anyway, I was the third child. I have two older sisters, slightly older, which I adore them. And my mom's still alive, and my dad passed. But growing up, my mom and dad, they divorced twice. even before when I was really young. And so anyway, they split up when I was 6 years old. I said, Mommy, when is Daddy coming home? And what I heard was, he's not. And so I was just left down on the floor. And sometime after that, I told myself, well, if my dad's not here, my mom's at work, and my sisters don't want to play with me, that I'll be alone. So actually, I was looking at myself alone at 6 years old. And anyway, then life went on, and my dad was always in the picture, taking us to the redwoods or to the ocean and things. And teenage years, he handed me the books. I'm okay, you're okay, and psycho-cybernetics, and
really,
yeah.
He handed you Maxwell Maltz.
What's that?
Maxwell Maltz,
Yeah. And my dad was going up to San Francisco. We lived in Redwood City and in the San Francisco Bay Area, and my dad was going up to San Francisco to check out what the young kids were doing, and he latched onto Hinduism.
Wow.
So he was this up and coming, and he meditated and did a lot of the spiritual things. And then he even took me to Silver Mind Control at 16 years old.
Did he really?
Yeah.
At 16 years old. Did you practice it very long?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I could still. Okay, so what I have over my motorhome, my RV now, is I have a white large pyramid. I picked pyramid shape, and that's protection. Everyone that comes into my space is with me and is enlightened and just on the same page, resonant with me.
Wow.
Stuff. And then I went to work for 40 years. I was bold in my life. I went out on vacations starting when I was 22 years old, alone. Nobody had money or the time, so I just went. Basically, that's it. I had 2 jobs working at a bank.
Really?
Yeah. Worked at a bank at head teller and vault teller for a little while, and then I was poking my nose in when they were installing the ATMs in 1983, and then I transferred to telecommunications department. And I worked in the Bay Area, had an area of Northern California. And soon after that, they wanted me to transfer to the Stockton corporate office. And I already knew at 22 years old, or 32, or somewhere around there, I wasn't corporate material. So anyway, I wrote down on a piece of paper pros and cons about keeping the job or not. And there were too many pros, and so I quit.
Wow.
No job in line. I was basically on unemployment for a year and moved up to the condo complex that I lived in San Bruno for 27 years. Moved up there and saw somebody with an Airborne Express outfit on. I said, hey, get me a job. And 6 months later, he walked me through getting a drug test to enter into the Teamster Union.
Wow.
Which was a great job. I worked at Moscone Convention Center, forklift driver for 27 years. Okay, I wasn't going to repeat myself.
27 years as a forklift driver? Forklift operator.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
at the
cool.
convention center, seeing new conventions coming in,
So
new people.
You're a Teamster.
Yeah.
You're one of Jimmy Hoffa's people.
Yeah.
That's crazy how much reach they have. So you left the last time when? Like, when did you
Leave the Bay Area?
Or just get in your vehicle and just start going?
2020, May 2020.
May of 2020.
I knew, I've been following Soulogy for, I think, since 2017 or 2018 probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I also look at astrology and everybody else and things, and I knew something was coming around, and I had some work injuries, so I decided to get the ball rolling and get out of there. I was home one day in 2015 with injuries, and I looked on YouTube, and I was looking at RVs, and so there I had a plan for my retirement. I retired in 2019 July, and then I soon was getting prepared to sell my condo.
Wow.
I gave everything away.
Yeah.
Sold my condo.
Wow.
Flew out to Ohio where my RV was being built.
Being built out.
Custom.
Oh yeah. Very cool.
And that's what I wanted for my retirement. So I flew, and my condo wasn't sold yet, but I left that up to the realtor.
And that was summer of 2020?
Yeah, May of 2020, just before Soulogy.
Well, Soulogy would have been May of 2021. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So how did you end up at the Soulogy Fest in Sedona?
I was...
And did you know, before you went, did you know a lot of the people that were there? Okay.
No. So I set out in 2021. I came to Arizona, and I was going to go up to one of my favorite places, Monument Valley, but I stopped for a night's rest, and then I took the wrong road, so I ended up at the lake in Page, Arizona. Mm-hmm. But I was up there, and I was in the back of my mind, I said, well, you know what, if I want to go to Soulogy, I'm real close to Sedona, so I could do that. And anyway, I wasn't planning on it, except for 2 days before I got my ticket. And the day before Soulogy, that's when I met Julie Pershin. And that was one of my miracles.
Where did you meet her at?
Up at airport.
You just ran into her at Airport Mesa?
Yeah.
And you didn't know her?
No, I didn't know her.
So you meet her and you're like, hey, you're going to Soulogy Fest.
No. Yeah. I was in my van doing some morning things, and I noticed her. She came up, and then she drove up and then came back. And I noticed that she wanted a ride, a parking space. And so I said, hey, I'm going to be leaving soon if you want to come park here. And she starts walking over me or something, and she says, are you going to Soulogy?
That's what I mean. She said that to you? Mm-hmm. And were you going already?
Yeah, I was at that point. But she gave me the right address.
Right.
On Google, it was a little bit different or whatever.
Yeah.
So there was a connection she knew from her intuition.
So that was the first person you met?
Yeah.
And then you went to the Soulogy Fest, Sedona.
Yeah.
And I guess you met a lot of other people because everybody knows you now. Everybody talks about you. And I'm sorry I missed you in Arkansas.
Oh, gosh. That was... Yeah. We're sorry too, but we carried on.
We did. There was a lot of stuff went down. There was some serious high-level, energetic transformation.
You know, it kind of, without the structure of you being there, it kind of gave us room to get our individual workings on. Yeah, and I think everything that was said and discussed prior to, without knowing it, was prophesizing that. You know, the whole 6 weeks before, we had a show that said creating from the chaos, which part of the message that I received during that time period with all the things that I experienced was that's what we do. We don't create from order. We create from chaos. Chaos is the mother's holy darkness, the womb, the void where we create from. Yeah. And so I thought it was funny because I watched the recording, and Hung starts it and then brings Isabel up, and then Ty got the microphone, and you could see he was kind of shocked still. And he said, well, Todd said it's not about him, so I guess we're going to see. But my understanding is that many, many people stepped up in many, many ways, and it must have been amazing to be a part of it. It was, and for Eric to open it, Eric Rankin, that was beautiful because we got into a circle.
Yeah.
just cosmic energy, cosmic geometry.
Right. So did you see some of the people you saw from the previous year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met a couple more, like Joan. Joan was there, and I really didn't remember her from the first one. Yeah.
Joan Hurt.
Yeah.
And so you've been basically a gypsy for
2.5 years.
2 years now. Right?
Yeah.
2.5 years. And where do you go? What do you do? What's it like? Do you meet cool people? Do you visit friends? Do you go from? I've seen you hooking up with a few people that we, in the community.
Yeah. Actually, there's a couple across the street that I met in the springtime, so they're here in Sedona.
Wow.
Yeah, the first ones. I go around and meet friends. And that's all fine, except for I'm still working out my timing with when do I need sit down time, when do I have energy to see friends. But one thing that I do like about me seeing my friends is that when I'm with them, I'm totally with them. And that I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, you're always happy. You're always upbeat. I've never seen you really. I've seen you ponder things, but I've never seen you be anything but just like effervescently.
That's my original design.
Yeah,
is being happy because I was a happy child. Even and the pondering. See, I weigh out things a lot. I'll check them out on all sides, and maybe that's why I was slow playing games with my sisters. Or something, just because I was taking my time.
Yeah.
And all that.
Well, you were the ET of the family.
Yeah. Lila comes in second close. Yeah.
Did you have like a lot of people in the last few years? Did you have like a wake up experience?
Not a specific wake up experience. So. In 2003, my dad gave me the book, The Power of Now. And
Joseph Murphy?
Huh?
Is that Joseph Murphy?
No, that's Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, Eckhart Tolle. Okay, Power of Now. Yeah.
And it took me 3 years to open that book.
Really?
But I did. And then 2009, I started taking some classes at Landmark Education. And that was the kind of opening that I needed. It was the push.
It's like a metaphysical school?
It's, to me, I use very basic language, and to me it's life lessons.
Life lessons.
It came out of the EST in the 70s. Warner Earhart.
Okay.
And they're very good classes. Landmark Education to get you started, to get you up somewhere, and things. So that was a good one. And then I used to go visit my dad after that, and he would have his recliner chair and his bookshelf over here of quantum physics and Hinduism and Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj.
Handbook of Higher Consciousness, Ken Keith.
Consciousness is All by one other author. Well, and then he would preach, and he would say, well, this, and this. I said, well, you know what, Dad? I learned some of that in Landmark. And so we had a good exchange of our information, and then, then it just came together. The lighter side of oneness of Hinduism.
Wow. Yeah, Hinduism is, and I've said that before, I'd love to have a show. I think we talked about it.
I know, I think so, yeah.
So, I would love to have a show where we just dive strictly into Hinduism with someone that knows about it, because for one thing, it's the oldest established religion. Okay. I think people can, I think overall, in a general sense, that historians or whatever agree on that. And then it's really fascinating to me because you have everything from the blue-skinned people to the goddesses, to the spaceships, to the historical record of a nuclear blast. And then you have elements of the Abrahamic religions that you can find in the Hindu. And the other thing I find really fascinating about Hinduism is, for many years I made sales calls and project calls on people's homes for like 30 years, and all over the country. And it's interesting what you see in people's homes, but in the homes where they were Hindu, it always fascinated me because, first of all, it was a multi-family, multi-generational kind of a setup, like the grandparents, the parents, the kids, and maybe even another generation, right? So there was this group familial living, and then the shrine. The shrines were never the same. I would notice that they would have some of the same icons and such, but they were all different. So they were kind of like a personalized altar or shrine. And I'd like to do that one time. We should do that before you leave.
Okay.
We'll do a Hindu show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good.
See how it works?
Yeah.
You were the one that brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hinduism was a pretty big influence on you?
Yeah, because it's so simple, and I have that simplicity inside of me, and I just resonate towards it. I don't know too much. I have the book I Am That in there, but waiting for me to read things.
That's funny. Like crystals waiting for you to pick me up. Yeah. Now, let's go back to the traveling thing. You've been doing this for 2.5 years. Now, you have what was yours? Was yours a Sprinter or Mercedes?
Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
Okay, Mercedes Sprinter, which those are pretty cool. I've noticed that our friend Shannon McMullen Thompson, she has a Sprinter. And I've noticed they're pretty roomy. She's done a good job with hers. Yeah. I remember yours too. Yours was done very nice. I remember that. Because I remember we talked at the end of the first day of Soulogy Fest. Where could you park? I remember. So you were showing it to me. Yeah. But how is that? Do you have a pet that travels with you?
No, I don't have a pet. And then when I don't wash my bed sheets, then I don't have to take a shower at night. So I'm very neat and clean.
Right.
Well, we have to be in a small area.
Yeah.
So no pet.
Do you stay in places do you just kind of float around as you feel?
See, that's what I'm getting more into. What do I need? What do I want?
Right.
Rather than visiting friends and things. Because normally what I'll do is I'll just visit the friends for a day and then go on and travel on. But that gets a little bit tiring.
Yeah. Well, that's the real deal. I mean, you're telling the truth. So what do you think? Maybe you'll start going places for a few weeks at a time?
See, that's so right now I do have an RV place. I booked it yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
With a pool, so I could exercise my knee. The other thing, so I was doing that. But the other thing is that I've wanted to commune with God. 2 years ago, I thought I would drive out to the prairies and just be with the prairie dogs, and be with nothing but God. But I could do that anyway. Anyway, I was scheduling a 10-day silent retreat, November 30th, in Southern California, where it'd be warm.
Right.
But upon that, I found out that they need a vaccine card, which I don't have. And so I'm not going to go to that one.
Wow, I can't believe they're asking for that.
It's a Vipassana retreat center.
Yeah, Monique just did that, our friend in Australia. She actually came and did a show with me. I think it was a 10-day Vipassana. Yeah. And she actually, the next day, did a show with me about it.
I'll have to go back and see that one.
It was very good. I think it's 2 shows back.
Oh, okay.
With her. I may be wrong, maybe 1 show back, but no, it was 2 shows back. Yeah, but it was very interesting what she had to say.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before?
No, but I watched. There's a official trailer on the TV on YouTube. Actually, it says doing Vipassana. So they actually have the Vipassana in the Indian jails in India, and the video was.
They have the Vipassana or whatever it's called in the Indian jails.
Yeah.
So they have a section of the jails where they can do
No,
that.
they take them out, and then they had 1,000 inmates
Well,
do it. This one jail has 10,000
10,000
souls. Yeah.
Wow.
So they said after 3 or 4 days, your thoughts quiet down, and that's just so delicious to me.
Right.
And the other things, and those guys were transformed.
Really?
Those people.
What show is this?
It's on YouTube.
It's the trailer for Vipassana.
Yeah, Vipassana.
Vipassana.
It has the word pass in it. Vipassana.
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 Far out.
They also do it in. Somebody told me that they're doing it in a jail in Kentucky. Also.
Really?
In a prison or something.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
So,
so
you're not going to do that.
No, I'm not. So I still have a little bit. I haven't seen my mom since May, and I would like to, but there's still part of me that feels an obligation towards my mom and my sisters. And I shall let that go with grace. And, my mom and I can, get along. I want to say a miracle that I had.
Yeah.
December 2020, I went back to California and visited my mom. And thank goodness, the day after I got there, her last brother has passed. And this is my mom. My mom's Egyptian. She was born in Egypt.
Really?
And she has 7 brothers and 2 sisters, so a large family. And she's the last surviving of her siblings.
Really?
Yeah. Was
she the youngest?
She's second to the youngest.
Wow. So how old is she?
She'll be 90 in January.
Wow.
She is something else.
And your father, was he a Caucasian? Was he American?
Yeah, he was American, German descent.
Wow, that's a wild mixture.
His father, they came from Omaha, Nebraska, to Long Beach.
Okay.
My dad was born above his father's fix-it shop in Long Beach.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Shortly, the miracle was December 2020. I was with my mom for about 15 days at least or something, and finally I said, you know what, I want to break through with my mom. And I prayed up to the spirits, and the next morning or the morning after that, she says, "Oh, Claudia, I had a dream about you. I had a dream that I pushed you away and things like that. And I'll never," she was so remorseful. I'll never do that again." So she saw it was a gift to her.
Yeah.
My breakthrough that I asked for was.
Yeah. Wow.
And yes, it's not perfect. She says that I could smoke anytime I want, and she accepts me, and she does her best, and then I give the rest up.
Yeah, accept it.
Yeah.
It's her journey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's Egyptian. Did she display any kind of connectivity to Egypt? And do you have any type of sensitivity to like the Egyptian lineage or anything from that period?
No, not really. I would say at this point it's more of the American Indian connection that I would like to get into.
Yeah. And have you had, everybody's different, I know, but Because obviously, if you can make that type of pleading and see the effect on your mother the next day, obviously you're very connected. But have you had, like, even like in your travels or not, have you come across anything, like whether it be animal, nature spirits, elementals, galactics, angels?
Well, sure. I was hanging out in my van one day, and this fly, this fly, I didn't even see him come in, but I just went like that, and I hit him. That's timing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too much of the natural world. No, I mean, I took a picture of a butterfly. It was on Facebook a while back, and it was just a beautiful butterfly just captured there right then.
That's what I mean. Like, even with the animals, do you connect with them? Can you telepath with them?
The other day, there was a crow on top of my vehicle, and it was picking at something. And out the window, I said, "Hey, what you doing? What's going on?" And I said, "Well, I might not want you to do that, and remember respect." And then he flew off.
Yeah.
So.
That's what we had an animal whisperer type on here.
I know.
2-3 days ago. And I was telling her how I was talking to my friends when I was house sitting and pet sitting, how I was having conversations with these two dogs, these two very different dogs. And it did work. Yeah. It actually worked. It's regular human language.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I love that. Oh, yeah. Nicole Hamilton. What is that her name? Nicole?
I can't remember.
Nicole.
Oh, well, there was Laurie God, I can't remember anything.
Okay, well,
Laurie Hamilton.
Okay.
That was one from England. But there was the lady that.
But the whisperer,
Oh, that was Chris Hamilton.
Oh, Chris Hamilton.
Whose real name is Maureen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I told a story. Now, Chris was saying. She was saying that how we treat our pets better than
yes.
we treat ourselves.
Yes.
And so actually I was in Costco the other day, and this lady had a big full basket, and she had one of those faux fur rug things. And I said, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And oh, that's really soft. She says, "You know what? It's actually for my dog." And then I told her the story. I said, "Well, you know what? I just heard on video the other day that we treat our pets better, and that we shall treat ourselves better that way." She says, "Oh, well, okay, But anyway, I got to tell this story.
Wow.
And it's really.
Wow.
Another lady I was telling, walking out, an older lady. This was in Prescott.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful people there. And I was telling her, "Oh yeah, this is the fastest I've walked ever, because I took my turmeric with my black pepper and oil in the morning."
Right.
And I told her about it, just sharing.
Right.
That it does. The turmeric helps a lot.
The turmeric works very well with inflammation.
Yeah.
So where's the coolest place that you've been so far in 2.5 years?
Well,
where you just where it's just breathtaking, most breathtaking.
Every time I look outside,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
everywhere you go.
Because
you've been from the redwoods to the desert to the
Ohio is the farthest,
to the high mountains.
Oh well, you know what? I went through South Carolina and Georgia and Florida last year, and I'm done with the humidity.
No kidding, right?
Oh yeah.
The heat here. It's hot, and I don't really care for it. But growing up in humid heat, that can be so much more grueling.
Yeah.
It really can. It's so thick. Not to mention, if you have hair like ours, it just goes like that.
Yeah. A lot of them. Well, let's see. Then I went on vacations. Yeah, I went on vacations twice a year while I was working, because we had downtimes at the convention center. Met a lot of people out there. A lot of my friends on Facebook are travel friends.
So I know you're getting the treatment from our friend Victoria
Yeah.
when she gets back. We'll talk about that in a second because I'd be interested to know because I know she does a lot of different things. You'd mentioned the Vipassana meditation, 10-day meditation type thing. Are you constantly working on different things, courses, getting treatments and such? Is that a part of your lifestyle?
This year it was. I set out from Southern California in April, in mid-April or something, and I went to Santa Fe to meet up with a chiropractor / shaman. And then, and then this masseuse and then this other chiropractor back in Ohio. And so that was my path this year. I call this the year of Claudia because it was so... I knew in the early spring that I wanted to sit down somewhere, so I stayed at an RV park for 3 months.
Really?
I was only going to be there for a month. But I knew I needed that time. And it was, oh my God, in February, February 22nd and stuff, like from the 9th, it was all mixed up, my head and all that.
Really?
Because it was all that time.
Yeah.
The 9th was something key.
February 9th through the 22nd? Mm-hmm. Where were you?
I was in Desert Hot Springs near Palm Springs.
So it wasn't cold.
No.
Yeah, you were in the...
In RV park, then I have heat and all that.
Yeah. There's been a lot of shifting this year, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's just coming in now. So do I do a lot of work on myself? I am constantly watching videos online. Ram Dass or yours or this and that. Constantly. And I love it because I'm learning, it's something, especially me. I used to be looking out so much out here,
right?
And I'm developing the inside,
right?
Really firming it in. And Sandra Walter had a thing on in the springtime about neutrality, and it was really right to the core.
Yeah, her stuff is good, very good. And have you been to Shasta?
I did. That was in 2020. That was in December or something. 2020, I spent 6 months out in Ohio. And anyway, I was traveling across the northern states in November. And the coldest was 4 degrees.
What?
4 degrees. South Dakota.
Oh my God.
And my batteries, I have lithium batteries on board, and it stopped.
What do you mean it stopped? While you're driving down the road or just?
Overnight.
Overnight.
There was some snow on the ground and stuff, and it stopped. No heat.
No heat at 4 degrees? Mm-hmm. What did you do?
Then it was about 20.
Still.
Well, so I'm away from Ohio from the manufacturer. So anyway, they sent me to Oregon.
Oregon?
To an RV place. Well, I had to go to California anyway. Mm-hmm. So, it was cold. So anyway, I got my batteries fixed. Mm-hmm. And I went up to Mount Shasta, drove up the road, and I I parked and spent one night.
Wow. Have you had any animal encounters like coyotes or wolves or raccoons or when you're out there?
No, not yet.
Okay. Do you do a lot of camping in places like that, or is it typically in an RV park or a parking lot?
95% of the time is boondocking outside of a RV park in the nature or even truck stops.
Yeah.
If I'm going across country.
Yeah. And have you met a lot of people from social media in person?
We'll get into. I just went to a Tribal Vision festival in Santa Fe.
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Because my friends were there.
My friends.
Robin and Eddie. That's
Yep.
right. I was going to try
Yep.
to go, but it was so crazy.
Oh my God! Yeah,
It was insane, that period of time.
Gosh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She
Go back.
has a good, just good connection
Oh,
with
yeah.
those two, and they're Soulogy people at a Tribal Vision. So it was really cool.
Yeah. Now that was what, about 4 weekends ago, I think. That was
solstice. It started on the 22nd.
That's right. It was solstice. I got bites all over me. I don't know what's biting me. So what was that like? You said you wanted to talk about that.
Okay, oh wow. Okay, so first of all, Ted, the owner of the land, he's the chiropractor that I went out and saw in June.
Okay.
So I was there in June when he got the phone call that they wanted to do the Tribal Vision on his land. So anyway, Ted is a friend of Julie Pershin, and I met Ted through Julie last November, and this is Julie's website.
Creators of New Earth, Cone.
And she gifted me this t-shirt, and I wear it on good occasions, because she stayed in my RV at the Soulogy Fest in Arkansas.
So you mean to tell me that you end up in Santa Fe at this tribal festival thing
On purpose.
on purpose, but Julie got you there. This guy that runs it was Julie's friend. It's also your chiropractor guy, and then you see Robin and Eddie there as well.
Yep, you got it.
Wow.
Ted is amazing. The three of them, Ted, John Callahan, and what is his name? Oh, the little elf. What's his name? Okay, so
Rumpelstiltskin.
yeah, it's anyway. They started the Waldorf School in Santa Fe.
Okay.
They're really
Waldorf, is that like Montessori? What is
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that's what I thought.
private high school where they don't tell you how to think.
Right.
So anyway, the Tribal Vision, I went a number of days before because Ted was having a family constellation session.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Do I? Yes, I do know what that is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Family constellation is a workshop where one person would sit and talk about what they want to discuss or what they want to overcome and things. And then we have people that would play those parts of the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, and things. And they would come from their soul and not from their head. And it has a neat dynamic. So, oh my God, we had 3 sessions. Loneliness, when a baby gets aborted, miscarriage.
Miscarriage.
Oh, and then and Greg that. Yeah, needed some uplifting. So anyway, I went a couple days earlier. Right from the Tribal Vision Festival was pure love and pure spirituality. Tribal, it's not specific tribal, it's just tribe. It's just community.
Okay. Was there a lot of people there?
Well, there was 700 people, but they were coming and going during the day. There might have been 200, 300, or 400 that would camp out.
Right.
I found out that I like to be a greeter. So anyway, we were painting signs one day for everywhere. And then I stayed when everybody was coming. And this one guy, Michael, he was walking up the road and he saw me just smile and we locked eyes together and he came up, wow, he said, what a great greeting that is. It's so nice. And so it just, that's the way God made me, so I'm going to be it.
There you go.
Tribal Vision. We had some workshops, and we had opening ceremonies, and what I got, there were so many people that there were so many people that all I could do was be open to what is in front of me and not even think about opinions or
Right.
because it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you can have it, you can state it. It doesn't have
But
to
let's
be.
get past that.
But you know what I mean? Like if I have an opinion or a feel, whatever you want to call that word, it's okay to state it. But it's well, I think what you're getting at, or what we're getting to, is it's not okay to expect something from it, or to, if someone else has one, to counter them.
Or maybe it's okay to have an opinion, but to act on your judgment.
Yeah.
To act on that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, no, I have opinion, but okay, then.
Well, that's the whole thing we've been talking the last few days. Is what is compassion? Compassion is when there's no judgment. When I look at you with no judgment, you look at me with no judgment. You might say, I like the Boston Red Sox. That's your opinion. I might just say, okay. Or I like Donald Trump. Okay. Or I like Joe Biden. Okay. That's it. It's no big deal. But I think that's kind of one of the things that we're working out. Like, to live in a world where you can have an opinion, where there's no ripple from it. It's just like,
Exactly.
your eyes are blue. It's like you saying my eyes are blue. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, somebody else might look at your eyes and see a different color than I see, right? They may have a different version of what blue is than I have. The point is, you're saying,
I'm just expressing from our point of view.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was going to ask you something else about this. We were just talking about, or you were just talking about. So have you noticed? Because I mean, you worked. San Francisco's a pretty dense area, even though it's got some progressive streams, but it's a big dense area and has been for probably a lot longer than we know. So you've interacted a lot with people through the years, especially with your job, your union job. Are you noticing, as you travel around, the expansion of the collective awareness in people?
Yeah, because that's what I'm looking for. That's that's what's in my focus. So I could, it's like a year or so going into Costco without a mask, just feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And, not, being in our own.
Yeah. Was that hard? Because you started traveling right when COVID was kicking in. Like the COVID measures were kicking in by that summer. Was that hard for you to try to navigate things and go into places and seeing the energetic template they were trying to throw down?
Well, what was happening with me is I didn't see any use at looking at people with masks on because I can't see them.
Right.
And things. So that was one thing. And then, no, I didn't. No, Mona will tell you, my sister, she'll tell you, no, Claudia's just going to go in there and whatever and do her thing and things. No, I wasn't really bothered. In Ohio, no, I was out by Lake Erie and it just wasn't applicable. But one time I visited my aunt in Auntie Roxanne in Los Angeles area, and I was greeted at the door with a mask, and I cried because I couldn't hug her or my cousin, and that's not what I want to do.
Wow.
But with all respect towards others.
Yes, of course. Right.
I was in the laundromat the other day, 2 days ago, here in Sedona, and this nice girl, Vicky, at the end of my stay there, I asked her if I could have a hug. Yeah. Always.
Yes. It's a powerful thing.
So, yeah, so, yeah, no, that, you know, when I'm on my road, nothing's going to stop me. The van was a 5-year plan.
Meaning?
The day I saw it was 2015.
Oh, okay.
And I made the rolling motions to be here now.
Wow. Wow. And have you spent, like, in 2.5 years, what, 95% of your evenings in the bed in the van? Or have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you pretty much every night.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, there's only 2 other beds that I've been sleeping in. Yeah.
In 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Do you find it? Because I know, like Shannon's, like the way, because it's relatively the same size, but like I can see, like when she has it open and it's in the driveway, I walk by or whatever. You can, or even like at Soulogy Fest, because I saw her there before everything happened. I can tell how much she likes it, right? Like I can tell she's very comfortable in her environment. Is that how you feel about your place?
Shannon's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just getting it now. Now, Shannon's and mine are different. Hers is very open platform, and she has beautiful things and lots of things. Mine is more clean-looking cupboards on one side, windows around.
Well, yours is finished out.
Finished.
I would say, more traditionally. Yours is finished out more like a actual, hers is kind of a bohemian, gypsy van looking thing.
Right.
You know?
But I'm the type that likes everything in its place,
of
because just because then I could get at it.
Yeah, of course. So is there anything you like to do when you go these different places? Like, do you like to fish, or you like to hike, or is it just really about going wherever you're led to go and meeting the people?
Now it's more of getting into who I am. I've been out on the shelf. I've been on the shelf all my life.
Okay.
Not with much of a to-do inside. What I do like to do, I just got a table recently, and I want to play my piano.
You have a piano?
Outside. Yeah, I have a folding piano that goes keys to keys, and it folds out like this.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it. Bring it in here.
And
we also have a studio in there.
Yeah.
We have keyboards in there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And I want to play for nature.
Yeah.
And another thing is just showing up.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like going out of my van when, or being me, because everybody else is being them.
Right.
And
just being you.
There's still a lot of growing that I have.
Just being you, right?
Yeah.
So have you been playing the keyboard?
Yeah, I took lessons when I was 10 years old.
Oh, okay. So you have
for 5 years.
Okay.
And I went the classical route.
Oh, that would be cool to play with. Well, we should do something. How long are you going to be in town?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should do something in the studio.
Okay.
And we have some neat stuff in there.
Okay.
Ty's really doing some amazing stuff in there, including like green screens everywhere. So we could be like doing this and have the pyramids behind us with the spaceship flying by.
Yeah.
Just a lot of different, stuff that looks kind of cool that we're working with. But yeah, we should do something like that. Claudia, I would love to hear you sharing beautiful music. That's Ernestine. Yeah, I think you should.
I got a real good picture of hers. I put it on Solology.
Yeah.
I caught her in her soul.
You took some amazing pictures.
Thanks, I did it for all of us.
Your pictures were amazing.
One thing I want to mention is that every time before Soulogy, you were saying how much this is us.
Yeah.
Not you.
No, it's not me.
And I could really feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
it made a difference.
Yeah.
From Soulogy.
I mean, everyone I talk to, huge transformational experiences. Like everybody, even home. You know, so many people. And you know, the other thing too, we mentioned it. There's Hung right there.
Diana
is all the. Have you met Diana in person?
I did. I got to meet Diana last.
In Sedona.
I know she's. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my word.
And she's her and Garen.
Yep.
Zena, and see, so many people have connected through Soulogy.
Yes.
Robin.
I want to talk about that.
Robin and Eddie is another one.
Oh.
I'm in Florida. Yeah. Morgan and I in January of 20. Well, when COVID started.
It was
when COVID started.
Well then.
Yeah.
2020. Oh.
2020. Yeah, it was early 2020.
With Greg Prescott.
Yeah, and then after that, I was doing a little show with Jeremy McDonald and some people in Florida that are with, I can't remember the name of the organization, but so I'm going to go do this show, like a typical Soulogy ad lib. I'm just going to make it up as we go. We need a DJ. And I see Eddie. And Eddie's not from there, but he's driving down the road. I'm in Tampa or whatever, and I called him up and said, "Hey man, we need a DJ." He goes, "I got you." So I literally drove to where he was staying, and he came out carrying his turntable. But anyway, Robin came, and they actually met. Then it was funny too because Morgan called it like within a day. She's like, "Those two are."
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But it's nice to see like Diane and Garen, you know, and
Diana, and then her son,
yeah.
Noah. Her son, he doesn't like to he's connected. He doesn't like to talk about those things, but he did with me a little bit. Yeah, and they're just so. Diana is just so much. Yeah. So I did get to see her in Omaha in 21.
Wow. Omaha? What's she doing in Omaha?
She was living there before she...
Oh, I thought she lived in... No, where's she living now? She's in Florida now. Oh, I thought she was. I didn't want to ask any questions.
Yeah.
So. But I thought she was in New Mexico for some reason.
Let's mix it up and then we'll come back to whatever we want. I want to talk about more miracles. Okay, there was one miracle in 2017. I went to Waikiki and I stayed in the hostel that was right next, a half a block away from the zoo and the park area and things. Very nice. So anyway, there was this guy that was at the hostel too, and we went down to the beach one day and we were just sitting in the shade and talking and things. And you know what? It was so funny because it was stuff that I didn't want to hear about, this was hours. And for some reason I was just sitting there, for a good reason, because I was just sitting there. And so I went back and took a shower or whatever, and I came back and walked on the beach. And I was thinking to myself, well, how silly of that to sit there, you know, in conversation that I really don't care about. But I was walking the beach, and then somebody smiled at me, and it changed me. That was good. But then I went up over the embankment and onto the other beach, and there I met Kenny and Ian, and they were talking about spirituality. So I've got ears for that and things, and I just gravitated. But the nice thing about Kenny was 2 days later I met his sister, Judy, and she is one of my favorite sisters. I mean, all my friends are my favorite sisters, and but we just have a great rapport, and we're still friends, of course. 2017, and I could call her up and, you know, whatever. Judy Rosemarin.
Wow.
You do your heart. I'm gonna have all my friends watch this if they wish to. And then, so that was just a miracle how something, wasn't agreeable. And then I found this pot of gold
right.
with these new friends.
Isn't that something?
Or I go into a laundromat in Ohio. I meet this great lady, Deborah Lake, and we talk a little bit and she's so pretty. And I think that, I kind of thought that, oh, well, she wouldn't have anything to do with me, but that's the old programming. And so a month after that, I went back to the laundromat. But before that, I said, I want to see her again. And I did.
Wow.
And we're friends. And she's so special to me, too.
What do you as far as like what do you eat? What do you carry with you in the van?
Eat. Okay.
Like, do you cook a lot or?
Okay, I cook all the time, and I don't go out to eat.
Okay.
I don't really care for that. Just like you, I was juice blending for 3 years from 2017 to 2020.
Okay.
Juice blending my vegetables.
Now, what does that mean, juice blending?
You know what? It's in a blender. Instead of extracting just the juice,
right,
you get the whole fiber and all that.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a juicer. Eating. And then, so I ate millet this morning.
What's that?
Millet is a grain. Oh, it's a protein grain.
Okay.
So my buckwheat is on order. That's from Ted. Ted has a strict diet of buckwheat and fruit and, apples in the afternoon. But he was also on penicillin for about 3 years when he was a kid. Wow. And it wrecked his insides.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, eating. No. Healthy food. I make my own chocolates.
Are you vegan?
No.
Okay. But
I'll do.
Yeah.
Do whatever. If I don't feel like eating, I have chocolate flavored bone broth or sardines.
I love sardines.
All healthy fruit.
Chocolate covered bone broth. What the hell is that?
Not chocolate covered, but chocolate flavored.
I mean chocolate covered. What in the hell is that? Just a soup? Just a broth?
It's powder.
Oh, it's powder.
Oh, and the other day, for dinner, I put it on vanilla ice cream and mixed it in.
You put it on vanilla ice cream?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Crazy.
So all healthy. Goji berries, supplements, do what else? My turmeric. Yeah. Because I just don't... I get better food when I make it myself, and it's expensive out at the store.
Of course it is.
Yeah, the restaurants.
Wow.
Food.
So what's the biggest challenge? Because it's funny because I watch some YouTube videos of people that are, what do you call it, boondocking, and they got an RV, and it's funny because if you watch somebody talk about their vehicle, it's usually when they just designed it and started using it, right? So it's all happiness. And then you'll run into some that have been on it a while, and they'll tell you, let me tell you how it really is. You got to take this into account and that into account. I mean, what's your biggest challenge in doing it? Do you have one?
Letting out the water. Letting out the gray water. I have a composting toilet, so my pee and poop are not going to be in it. So my water is from the sink, the kitchen sink, and my shower. And I use biodegradable soap. Letting that out. So
because it's not harmful, you can just let that out anywhere within reason. But I mean, you can.
Except if certain people see you, the ones that want to, or say.
What would be wrong with it if it's not harmful and it's biodegradable?
You know what? I'm not sure. Okay,
so
that's a good one.
You're talking
BLM.
You're talking about Karens. Oh, you're talking about BLM. If BLM sees you do that,
Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah. If they see you do that, then were they going to fine you or what? What kind of BS is that?
Yeah.
BS at BLM.
Otherwise, if my batteries go low, if I sit for a long time, for a couple days, I could turn on the engine and it'll beef up the lithium.
Right. Do you have solar panels?
No, I don't. I do have 2 flexible solar panels I could take out anytime, and I have a Jackery. battery pack. That's just in case. But actually, from my good friend Rose, I bought a biomat that has tourmaline and amethyst in it.
Okay.
So that's on the bed.
Right.
Oh, it's infrared.
Okay. Infrared.
Yeah.
So what does it do? Make it glow?
No, it doesn't make. No, it's all
Uh-huh.
infrared. You can't see it.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Right?
I got you.
Right. And then, so it has heat with it. So anyway, I hooked that up to the Jackery. So it's an independent source. It's not taking battery pack power.
Oh,
And,
I see. Yeah.
because then if you leave your power on, you have the inverter running. And I like peace and quiet rather than a machine running.
Yeah. And what's the most exciting thing that's happened in the 2.5 years? Like the just instantly happened and you went, holy crap. Like, just you weren't expecting it. Was it a place you went or a person you met?
Well, for one thing, it was the first part of September. I was in the Pecos National Forest near Santa Fe, and I wanted to go out in nature and spend the night. So I'm on this dirt road. Well, I choose to pull over on a pullover.
Right.
Well, it's bowl shape, and it had been raining. It's bowl shape. Well, my vehicle's 24 feet long, and the plug where I plug in at night, it's hanging down the lowest spot. And anyway, the bowl shape, so I ran around that. I sheared off the bolt from that.
Wow.
Because you can't, from a heavy vehicle, you can't tell when you're really stopped against something. It might be mud that's stopping you. Anyway, I didn't freak about it. It's hanging down. I got 2 tie wraps out. I put it up. And I didn't freak about it, and it's already fixed.
Wow.
From Willow and Poppy.
Yeah.
From Willow's friend, Mink Fire.
My God,
What?
you've connected with a lot of people.
These Teds and Mink Fire, Mink Fire. He's so in the space of now that it's so incredible. And he was machinist and things, and so he hooked it up really good.
Wow.
And it's through Mink that I recently, that was just last week, it's through Mink that I realized, we're all this special.
Yeah.
I might look at him special or something,
Right.
but we're all special because we all have these little facets. He might talk about the conspiracies a little bit, which I know all about, and I don't want to hear about them. Just you mention it and let it go.
Right.
But we're all this special.
Yeah, no doubt.
So getting back to special things, so not freaking out about that.
Yeah.
Special, life is all, to me, life is all miraculous.
Yeah, of course.
Of
course it is. Do you feel like that you're kind of establishing a kind of a network with the places you've been? Like, because you mentioned like Willow and then Willow and Poppy and the connection to this person, and then Julie's connection to the guy in Santa Fe, and it's Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like that if you went back through, like kind of backtracked, you'd have a lot of places that you've already been where you've met people?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's Willow wants to set out next year and do some kind of pilgrimage or go out, and Cinderella Sinclair, she mentioned a couple weeks ago that something about playmates. She needed playmates, and you know what?
Like a caravan.
Yeah, and you know what?
Like the whirling dervishes. We get like 10 of them, and you pull in a place, and you just make a big circle, bring out the food, the art, the music, the fellowship, the classes like yoga or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You could just see that.
Do it together, and I need playmates.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all going to have playmates now. I don't think this thing gets really embodied or anchored unless we collaborate with each other.
Yeah.
You know, because what's the opposite of collaborating? Separate. You know,
Solo.
being alone, not being one, basically. So, I think we got a heck of a rest of the year and a very, very positive future. Especially but I'm tired. Are you tired?
Yeah.
I'm a bit tired.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change my supplements.
Yeah, I'm trying to come back.
You know what? I'm so glad that you took that break because I'm still trying to take mine. And what do? I left Mink in Deming, New Mexico, and I went to a RV park and I got to swim for 3 days, and it was really good for my body. And I was just traveling up here, and what do? I find friends. Well, I want a break, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know.
I found that the turning off the phone thing for the most of that 6 days, because I would check my text messages like once a day, like for 5 minutes. But I found that was the best thing.
Yes.
Like not having this in my hand, not thinking I had to go post in Soulogy group or you know what I mean? I just let it all go.
Exactly.
And even still now, I turn it off for periods of time. Not too long, but I'll turn it off. Like even when I go to sleep, I like to turn it off sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, most
because
definitely.
it just feels less staticky in the air or something. I can't really put my finger on it. And I like this place I'm staying at temporarily, this RV park, because the internet just goes in and out. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you could take a video call very well or very often, but you know what I mean? So it's already kind of off.
Yeah. Yeah. So you, just say whatever. I'll tell you one fun thing. Last December 2020, December 3rd, 2021, I was down in Oregon Pipe National Monument, southern Arizona, right on the Mexico border. I didn't get any internet and I didn't really want it. I had cellular things, but I was down there for 8 days. One night, there's this streak in the off in the distance way where the sun went down, a streak, and I thought it was a plane, nothing. But no, it's not dissipating. The trail's not dissipating. And it was just slowly moving over. And I went inside to get my camera. Well, by the time it was over here, it was straight up, and I took a picture, and you could only see the lights. I thought it was a mothership because it was all online and things. But it was...
satellite.
It was the satellite train.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's crazy the first time you see that.
Yeah.
First couple times I saw it, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess they go up there and they scatter?
No, it'll stay in a train. They're trained together.
Yeah. I haven't seen one in a while, though.
You know what was funny, though? 2 nights ago after the sunset, I'm up at Cultural Park. Mm-hmm. 2 nights ago, the sun went down. And there was a dot that looked like a star, like a planet, one on each side of the glowing clouds. But I checked out my star walk, and it wasn't Mercury, which is very close, because Mercury was on the right side of the sun, so I wouldn't, and I'm looking on the left side.
Okay.
And I don't know what that was.
It didn't show up.
Just up. It showed up on my picture, just as a dot.
But it didn't show up at Sky Map.
No.
So it wasn't
a
permanent. It wasn't a permanent fixed structure. Let's just put it that way.
No, and I don't know if it was an asteroid or whatever. But the sun had just set, and you could see stars there. I thought it was Mercury because the sky was clear.
Yeah, Jupiter has been big time.
Yeah, and I saw this morning. I went out there and I saw the moon and Mars.
Yeah, Jupiter's been like in my face for like 3 weeks now. Well, 1 minute 1 hour 14.
Oh my God, already?
It was 1 hour 14 minutes 44 seconds when I looked up.
Oh.
And there's 66 people.
Well, I've got more to talk about.
Oh, well, we'll do it again
Okay.
before you leave. And what we'll do is maybe you and maybe we'll get a couple other friends. We'll go into the other studio.
Okay.
And we'll go live and we'll do some talking and we'll do some music.
Good.
You know, just make it up as we go. Because you're not leaving in the next day or two.
No, because I have a book place.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that too. Like, we all know Victoria, and Victoria's been around a long, long time. I mean, I think her movie came out in the 90s. But of course, incredible story. But so, what kind of session are you specifically getting with Victoria? Because I know she does different things.
Yeah, well, medical medium. And I'll do it in person with her. And then she could actually go through my body.
Okay.
And to me, it'll be a kind of a confirmation, confirmation of what I'm feeling.
So you want to get some, like a second opinion. Like you're trusting what you're feeling about yourself, but you still like to get it some more, a little bit more feedback. But doesn't that describe all of us right now? I mean, like, our intuition, we've been relying on it more and more and trusting it more and more, even though it totally goes against conventional wisdom most of the time.
Yeah, and we're just some of us are just changing from not knowing our bodies, not believing ourselves, right? So I'm changing, and I just think this is what I want to do right now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good for all of us to reach out, you know, when we need something like that. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of a lone wolf kind of thing, but there are times when it's good to have that second, you know, two heads is better than one.
Yeah.
Or even being able to express something to somebody that you really just have only kept between yourself and the universe, something like that.
And the thing is, when I do go to the chiropractors and things, you know what, I'm not so expressive with what I feel. It's I think my powers are more of a knowing. Yeah,
I got you. All right, so we're gonna do this again probably next week, and we're gonna get the keyboard out and see if we can get a couple more friends to sit down with us and have a discussion. You can tell more stories now that you broke the ice.
Yeah, really. You know what? This is a big me coming out. You know, I've always been out, but really, truly, you know, and really say things on the line.
Yeah. See, and you've done it now, and more will come.
Yeah.
We gotta get Cinderella on here.
Yeah.
Get Astrid's on the list.
Yeah.
So many of I got the whole list. I mean, some of them have said not yet. So yeah, it's gonna be good. The more of you that come out, the faster this goes.
Love to all of you. Number one, love yourself.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. We'll be back a little bit later with another show.